Children fear monsters. Creatures of the night they imagine hiding under beds, lurking in closets. But as we grow older, we learn evil doesn't announce itself with a mask or a costume. That the deepest, most dangerous terrors are those not disguised, but those hidden in plain sight.
Nice mask, freak show.
Give it back. Make us.
Whoa, freak show's got a knife. Let me see it, doofus.
It's mine.
I said give it.
Leave him alone.
What are you gonna do about it, Carver?
What are you gonna do about it, Blakely?
That's enough.
Justin's got a knife. We were
I'll handle it. You boys run along. Justin, you know knives aren't allowed at school.
You're not?
Students caught with weapons are subject to expulsion. Now, you're new here, so this time I'll just take the knife and leave you with a warning.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jeffries. Thank you.
That's not yours.
Mr. Seaver, this school has a no-tolerance policy toward knives.
The knife's his. Give it back.
I'm concerned about your son, Mr. Seaver. He's withdrawn and lonely. In my experience, children act that way when they have trouble at home.
You'll suffer for this.
Hello? Is someone there?
Mr. Kocak.
Detective.
I hate this kind of case. It always gets you. No matter how long you've been a cop or how many dead bodies you've seen. But I guess you can imagine that being a crime reporter.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'd like to get your particular insight into this case. Let justice be properly served.
My thoughts about this case are unorthodox. Not likely to stand up in a court of law.
Now, you let me worry about the law, Mr. Kocak. Right now, I'm just interested in understanding what the hell happened here.
I find that open-minded of you. Unusually so.
I wouldn't call it open-minded. I just find this a strange and tragic case. And I'd just like to set things right. Now, as best I can.
I understand.
Well, now, this is being videotaped. So why don't we start at the beginning and tell me what made you interested in this story in the first place? I mean, last week, accidental death by lightning, that can't properly be called a crime at all, can it?
Except there was nothing accidental about it. Mr. Arnold Jeffries, vice principal of McClintock Elementary School, found dead this morning by the school janitor.
The man was struck by lightning, Kolchak. It was a tragic but accidental death.
Lightning that tossed his body 30 feet in the air, impaling him on the school flagpole.
In 1978, a truck driver in Manchester, England was struck by lightning, tossed 57 feet. His body landed on his neighbor's roof. Did a little reading on lightning.
So then you know about the Lichtenberg figure?
Lichtenberg figure, yeah, of course. Oh. What is that?
That's the Lichtenberg figure.
Ah. What is that again?
Also known as arborescent lightning burn, recognized by pathologists as evidence of a lightning strike.
You are really turning me on right now.
I've seen it before in other lightning strikes. What's your point, Kolchak?
Well, look where the mark begins.
Down by his waist.
Yeah, lightning always strikes high, near the head or neck, not low.
See, that's exactly why I call Kolchak, because no one here has ever seen this before.
So maybe the lightning hit something else first, bounced off, and struck Jeffries.
Yeah, only, according to the weather service, no lightning struck within 10 miles of the school last night.
I give up. Okay, so if lightning didn't kill this man, what did?
I don't know. But at least now you're asking the right questions.
So, you went to the school?
Yeah.
To do what exactly?
Just asking questions, Detective.
Jeffries was a popular administrator, well-liked, no enemies to speak of.
Yeah, principal tells the same story.
I know it disappoints you, Carl, but I think this is exactly what it seems. A simple, yet bizarre accident.
Hey, guys.
What is it?
I'm not sure, but that figure on Jeffrey's body and this tree. Check this out.
They're the same.
I don't get it.
Draw what you feel inside. When someone you know passes away, it's okay to feel sad or angry or scared. But the principal and I and all your teachers want you to know that you're safe and nothing's gonna happen to any of you. Our school is a community.
So what are you gonna do?
And when we lose someone we care for,
About
we
what?
come together. We help each other through our sadness.
You heard what your dad said to Mr. Jeffries yesterday. My dad didn't do anything.
The difference is we are all friends. And what do friends do?
He told him he'd suffer. Everybody says it was an accident,
One another.
but it wasn't.
They listen to each other. They make
Was
sure
it?
that we don't feel alone.
You're so lucky. I'd give anything to have a dad like yours.
Because we aren't alone. We are
I
all
know.
in this together.
And I know you're scared.
Okay?
But you've got to tell someone. If you won't, I will.
All right. Everyone leaves early today.
And you're convinced that this is the day Justin Seaver made this drawing?
It was his assignment as part of grief counseling.
But nobody saw him draw it on this particular day.
Well, no one except Ryan Carver.
Right. An 11-year-old boy. So later that morning, you approached Ryan with your theory about Ezekiel Seaver?
No, he approached me. Can I help you with something?
Yeah. You were asking people about who's carving into that tree, right?
That's right.
Is there something you want to tell us?
It was my friend, Justin Seaver. His dad got really mad at Mr. Jeffries for taking away his knife. He told him he would suffer.
Do you know where we could find Justin's father?
Over there with Justin.
Do you think Justin's dad hurt Mr. Jeffries?
I don't know. I heard he hurt someone where Justin used to live. That's why they moved here.
Do you know where that is?
I don't know. Justin doesn't talk much. Doesn't have a lot of friends.
Except for you.
My dad says you should be nice to people that are less fortunate than you are.
Ryan?
What's going on here?
I'm Carl Kolchak with the Beacon.
I'm Dan Carver with the LAPD. You normally interview kids without their parents' permission?
No, Dad. I came to them. I was telling them about Mr. Seaver.
Yeah, what about Mr. Seaver?
We won't print anything your son's told us, Mr. Carver.
Good thing.
So that's when it all began. Kolchak twisting up your mind. Isn't that right?
No, that's not how it happened. He spoke to my son, that's all.
You're trying to tell me he didn't talk to you about evil, possession?
No, not then.
Come on, Dan. You know what we're looking at here? And you're gonna go to prison. The question is, for how long? And I know a guy like you couldn't do something like this unless Kolchak fed you some pretty crazy ideas.
That he did.
Dan, I'm not asking you to do anything wrong. I'm just asking you to lay the blame for this terrible tragedy where it belongs. On Carl Kolchak. So what made you so interested in Ezekiel Seaver? I mean, by your own account, you had nothing except for the vague suspicions of an 11-year-old boy.
Well, that was enough. Ryan said that someone had been hurt there, and that's why the Seavers moved. And he was right.
What are we looking for exactly?
Anything that sheds light on the mysterious Mr. Seaver. Father of the Year.
Who are you?
Reporters. I'm Carl Kolchak. This is Perry Reed. We're with the LA Beacon.
Mona Sampson. I live next door.
We'd like to ask you questions about a former neighbor, Ezekiel Seaver.
Oh, Lord.
Well, we were told that he hurt someone here.
Hurt someone?
Can you tell us what happened?
Truth is, I never liked him. Right from the start. It was like he was hiding something. And I always felt sorry for the boy.
Who did he hurt, Mrs. Sampson?
Mrs. Hartzman. Lived across the street. The boy used to sneak into her pool, poor thing. She complained to Ezekiel, and then on a Saturday afternoon, zap.
Lightning strike?
Lightning? No. High voltage wire fell into her pool. They say the water boiled, cooked her flesh through.
Mrs. Sampson denies telling that story.
Of course she does.
And your colleague, what was she thinking?
She was, keeping an open mind.
You're excited now, aren't you?
Well, you can see the pattern, can't you?
I can see you see it.
Do I have to connect the dots?
No. All you have to do is explain to me how Seaver could have magically speared a man on a flagpole and cooked a woman in her pool.
Well, that's the point. There is no explanation.
Yes, there is. They're called freak accidents.
So there's no story here?
No, there's a story, all right. It's a very sad, very human one, though. About a man abusing his son.
You work that angle. That'll make Vincenzo happy.
And what are you gonna do?
Try to keep someone else from dying.
You don't know what it's like. Your dad is so nice. You should tell somebody, Justin. If you won't, I will. No, don't. I just wish I could live with you. What's that?
Dr. Lawrence? I'm Carl Kolchak. I'm a reporter.
Who you are. You're the reporter who's been asking all the crazy questions.
We need to talk.
Now it's not a good time.
It concerns Justin Seaver. You know why his father moved here. The woman who was killed.
I've heard the rumors about Ezekiel Seaver, and I don't put any stock on them.
It just seems that anyone who crosses him ends up dead.
Are you trying to scare me?
No, I'm asking you to share any information you have about Ezekiel Seaver abusing his son.
And why would I do that?
Because publicly exposing him may be the only thing to stop him.
If Justin Seaver has any problems, I'll report them to the Department of Social Services, not the newspaper.
And report it anonymously to protect yourself.
I hardly think that's necessary, Mr. Goldchef.
In case you change your mind.
Yeah.
I hope you do.
Hi. I hear you guys have something to show me.
Show her, Justin.
What do you think you're doing? Are you looking to get me in trouble?
No.
They'll take you away. You'll wind up in foster care. Is that what you want? What I do, everything I do, is for you. Remember that. Now let's fix this. You people owe me an apology.
We owe you.
What did you feed this boy for lunch?
This is a joke. No.
He's allergic. Anything with peanuts, you could have killed him.
Mr. Seaver, what I saw on that child's back has nothing to do with peanuts.
Lucky for you, he's better. Lift up your shirt, boy. Do as I say. I'm taking him home now.
I don't know what just happened, Mr. Seaver, but you are not fooling me. I know you heard him.
Ryan told you about the incident at school. Isn't that right, Dan?
Yes.
What did you do when your son told you being an officer of the law and a responsible father?
Well, I tried calling Dr. Lawrence, but she'd already gone home for the day. And by the next morning, it was too late.
Hello? Hello? Anybody out there?
Been trying to reach you. I heard the school psychologist was found dead.
Yeah, ceiling fan spun off its axle, severed her head at the neck.
How did that happen?
It's just another freak accident.
What's that?
Justin Seaver's confidential file. I lifted it from the scene. Look, it says here, Ryan found large red welts on Justin. When Lawrence confronted Ezekiel, the welts miraculously disappeared. Dr. Lawrence confronted Ezekiel about his abuse, and now she's dead. He killed her just like he killed the others.
I think you're right.
What did you say?
I think you're right about Ezekiel Seaver, just not in the way that you think.
What do you mean?
Turns out Seaver didn't have much of a record. In fact, on paper, he didn't even exist until he adopted Justin 3 years ago.
Adopted?
And get this, Seaver's only source of income for the past 3 years is as a commercial electrician specializing in high voltage work. All these deaths, Jeffries, the woman in Valverde, and now the school psychologist, all involve electricity somehow.
So you think he's staging them to make them look like accidents?
I think it's the first answer in this whole story that makes any sense.
But you weren't buying her electrician angle, were you?
Wouldn't say that.
Come on, Mr. Kolchak. You were focused on something bigger, something that defied rational explanation.
I just knew Ezekiel Seaver posed a danger.
So you went to the school where you knew you'd find Detective Carver.
Detective Carver.
What are you doing here?
I need to speak to you about your son.
You're gonna stay over tonight. Dad never let me.
What's the mystery?
You're aware that Ryan brought Justin in to see the school psychologist yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
And that she was killed last night by a freak accident only days after Mr. Jeffries.
What's your point?
I believe all these people died because they dared to confront Ezekiel Seaver.
You got any proof of that?
No proof, no, but I believe that Ryan, by trying to help Justin, may have put himself in danger.
It must have been unnerving. This man telling you that your boy was in danger.
No, I didn't listen. You think Seaver's gonna hurt my boy?
Yeah, I think he will.
Oh, you listened, Dan. You stood there and you listened while this man messed with your head.
I heard what he was saying, but I didn't listen.
The evidence against Ezekiel Seaver is circumstantial, but I believe he's a threat.
Where'd he go?
Ryan! Hey, Ryan!
Hey, Justin, where's Ryan?
Ryan!
He had you right where he wanted you, didn't he? Come on, Dan. Kolchak's timing. Warning you your boy would be taken before it happened. You were ready to believe his wild theories.
So anything on Ryan Carver?
Jane's down at the precinct. The cops brought Ezekiel and Justin in for questioning.
A lot of good that's gonna do.
What about you?
I got Detective Carver to talk off the record. Turns out Ezekiel's not Ezekiel. Up until 3 years ago, Ezekiel was Arthur Summers' seminary novitiate.
He was studying to be a priest. So what happened 3 years ago?
He got expelled from the church for conducting an unauthorized ritual. An exorcism.
You're kidding.
Janet Seaver of Flagstaff, Arizona, claimed that an evil spirit jumped into her. Ezekiel, a.k.a. Arthur Summers, stayed with her for 2 weeks trying to drive it out.
And did he?
In a manner of speaking, she died from lack of food and water.
So was Ezekiel arrested?
No. And Janet left behind an only son in the care of her spiritual advisor.
Justin. Ezekiel adopted the son of the woman he killed.
What if, when Janet Seaver died, the evil spirit jumped out of her body into Ezekiel's?
Did you run that theory by Detective Carver?
Yeah, he didn't buy it either.
But you did buy it, didn't you? Coming at you of all that Linda Blair stuff. You were beginning to believe him, even though you wouldn't admit it. Not to him, not to anyone.
Yes. I believed him.
While the police were busy questioning Ezekiel Seaver about Ryan's disappearance, you took the opportunity to break into his house. Detective Carver didn't know what you were up to, did he?
I know what you're doing.
What I'm doing?
You're building a case that I incited Detective Carver to commit murder.
I told you, Mr. Kolchak. I just needed your help with this.
You want to prosecute me as an accessory, so in the hope that you can reduce Carver's sentence.
You were hell-bent, Mr. Kojak. Breaking and entering.
Ryan's life was at stake. Ryan?
Perry Reed? Hang on a second. What are you doing back?
Cops let Ezekiel sneak out the back.
Ezekiel's been released?
Yeah.
When?
They finished questioning him 20 minutes ago.
I'll call you back. Come on.
What? What is it?
Kolchak. He's at Ezekiel's.
Ryan.
Hi, I'm Perry Reed with the Beacon. Excuse me. I just need to ask you some questions.
Kolchak.
So, everyone thinks you kidnapped Ryan Carver.
You have to leave now.
You know, this is your chance to clear your name, Mr. Seaver.
You've wasted enough of my time.
I'll have to write the story anyway.
Write what you like.
You know, Malum. So what's it mean?
It's Latin for wicked or evil.
Think Ezekiel put it in Justin's room? What are you looking for?
That picture you took of the tree back at the school?
MAI.
Yeah, but what if it's not an I? What if it's the start of an L?
MAL?
Yeah, he was carving the same word, Malum.
Who?
Justin. It was Justin all along.
So now it was the boy who was evil.
Everything I've told you is true. You want to solve this case? You need to believe that.
Dan Carver believed it. Look where it got him.
Dan Carver didn't believe me until it was too late.
You were right, Perry. Ezekiel didn't kidnap Ryan.
Then who did?
That evil spirit?
I don't think it jumped into Ezekiel. I think it landed in Justin.
Kolchak. That boy is a victim.
If anybody's demonic, it's Ezekiel.
This guy's room is a religious shrine. After Justin's mother died, he chose the name Ezekiel.
Prophet?
Yeah, who believed he was the watcher of lost souls. And that's what he's become. Justin's responsible for everything we've seen.
Justin is the demonic one?
Both houses filled with candy wrappers, video games. The kid's in charge. Ezekiel's the prisoner.
Ryan told us that Ezekiel was the one who threatened Jeffries.
But what if Ezekiel wasn't threatening him? What if he was warning him about Justin?
What about the welts all over his body, huh? What about the death of Dr. Lawrence?
Justin did himself.
Why would he do that, even if he could?
For the same reason he left a tree-shaped mark on Jeffrey's body and used electricity to kill him.
Which is?
To draw attention to Ezekiel and make him look suspicious. To get rid of him.
It's okay, Ryan. It's just me. Just don't get me out of here. I can't. My dad could kill me.
Just get a knife and cut the rope.
Brought you something.
I'm scared. I don't even know how I got here. You've got to help me.
Everything's to be okay, Ryan. I promise. I just want to live with you guys. You know that.
Please, you gotta help me. You have to tell my dad where I am.
Okay, buddy. I will. Hello? Mr. Carver? It's Justin. You need to come quick. It's about Ryan.
Where are you, Justin? Are you home?
Don't meet me here.
If Justin's what you claim, would it be easier just to kill Ezekiel?
If Ezekiel dies, Justin goes to a foster home. That's not what he wants.
What does he want?
A brother and a new father.
Detective Carver?
It's okay. It's all right. Tell me everything.
But my dad...
I'll protect you. I promise. I'm never gonna let him hurt you again.
I can show you where he is.
Okay. All right, good boy. Did you find anything?
No sign of Ryan, but Justin's stuff is all packed.
Detective Carver's not answering.
Wait. Listen.
Detective Carver requests emergency services, Ranch Road. ETA, please advise.
Ranch Road. I know where that is.
And which way, Justin?
If my dad's there.
Don't you worry about that, son. I'll deal with him.
Ryan!
No!
At this point, you believed everything that Kojak said. I just wanted to find my son.
Ryan! Ryan!
He did this. He caused this pain, this suffering. I'm putting a stop to it. I'm taking you back.
Yeah, Kojak had gotten inside your mind. You were sure that this man was evil. I thought he was gonna hurt my son.
Get your hands off him!
got there too late.
And this drawing that Justin allegedly did during grief counseling, you took it as proof?
It is proof that Justin set this whole thing up so that Detective Carver would kill Ezekiel.
Carver was cleared of any wrongdoing in the shooting of Ezekiel Seaver. The whole thing would have stopped right there if you had let it.
Detective.
How can I help you, Mr. Kolchak?
I understand you become Justin's temporary guardian.
Yeah, I hope to make it permanent after everything he's been through. Everything we've been through.
Mr. Carver, Justin may not be the innocent victim you think he is.
What do you mean?
All those things that we thought Ezekiel was doing, I now think it was Justin.
So you admit it. You put the idea inside his head.
I told him the truth.
You were trying to unbalance him.
He still wouldn't believe me. If he had, maybe we wouldn't be here right now.
No, we are here right now because of you, Mr. Kolchak. Not to spite you.
I don't want to hear this nonsense.
Detective.
Look, he's a little boy who stood up to an evil man. He helped me save my son.
I only wish that were true.
I want you to stop bothering me and my family. You understand what that means, Mr. Kolchak?
He tried to tell me that he was evil, and I didn't believe him. Until
what?
Until we got home, and Ryan started telling me that he was afraid of Justin, that Justin was going to kill him. And then I found this packed in Justin's things, and I finally knew that it was true, that everything Kolchak had told me was true.
Why didn't you tell somebody, Dan?
I didn't believe Kolchak. Why would anybody believe me? You don't believe me, even now.
Dan.
I knew that unless I did it, Justin was going to kill Ryan. So he wouldn't have to share me with anybody. So I held him down. And I put my hand over his mouth so he couldn't scream. And I slit his throat.
Using this. Only that's not how it happened, Dan. You didn't find this in Justin's things. Kolchak gave it to you. He drew it himself and gave it to you to prove that Justin was evil. He told you to kill that poor, defenseless little boy. He tried to convince you that that was the only way to rid your house of this evil. And in your confused, agitated state, having just lost and regained your son, having shot and killed the man who abducted him, you believed Kolchak's lies. Isn't that right, Dan? Isn't that right? You're free to go.
After all that.
Do me a favor, Kolchak. Get out. I don't want to see your face again.
So you're taking the blame for what happened?
It is my fault. No one else.
I have to ask you one more question, Detective.
Yeah, what's that?
If you stabbed Justin to protect Ryan, why would you kill him in the room where you know your son would find him?
Like I said, I'm responsible.
You're going to prison, detective. But I know who killed Justin Seaver. It wasn't you. Evil hides, not just in darkness and shadows, but in lies and deceit. Abusing kindness, trust, compassion, and turning the good against themselves, so that the most kind-hearted fail to recognize the danger until it's too late.